All right, here we are in North Hollywood, California on Willow Crest Avenue. This is going to be one of the most interesting, or maybe not interesting, episodes I've ever done. As you're going to see in just a moment. We're talking about the TV show One Day at a Time. Do you remember One Day at a Time? Starring Bonnie Franklin, Mackenzie Phillips, Valerie Bertinelli, and of course, Pat Harrington as Schneider. It ran on the CBS network for 9 seasons, December 1975 to May 1984. And the show takes place in Indiana. In fact, the family moves from their home that I'm going to show you in Logansport, Indiana, to Indianapolis. Well, both of those homes are in Los Angeles. One Day at a Time was developed by Norman Lear, the legendary Norman Lear, and it was created. One Day at a Time was created by Whitney Blake and Alan Mannings. They were actors in the 50s and 60s and became a married couple. And the show is really based off of Whitney Blake's personal experience with her first husband, first divorce. She had 3 kids. One of her kids was Meredith Baxter, who went on to be the mother on Family Ties. So I'm sure a lot of you remember the intro to One Day at a Time from Logansport, Indiana, where the family is packing up the car and moving, leaving the house.
This is it, this is it, this is life, the one you get, so go and have a ball. This is it, this is it.
I was in search of 4954 Willow Crest in North Hollywood. And imagine my disappointment when I found out that the original home from One Day at a Time has been razed. That little home is no longer. This is 4954 Willow Crest. Now, looking at pictures from the TV show, this home right here to the left, you can see that window outline. You see the way you can see the outline of the windows. You see the house. That's in the shots. This is obviously a new home. It's obviously being built as we speak. You can see this is a construction site. So it's a little bit depressing. A piece of television history is gone. Now, this was definitely an address that I didn't think a lot of people were going to visit. I'm not sure how many people remember One Day at a Time, but I think, listen, 9 seasons, that's a long time. Valerie Bertinelli married Eddie Van Halen while on this show. And One Day at a Time might have jumped the shark towards the end. Maybe it stayed a little too long, but listen, that's up to you to say. But this was it. And as the credits say, this is it. Now, there's a cement mixer here and porta potties in the back. The houses look really nice. On the show, it looks sort of run down. I'm trying to look at the other houses to get an idea if these people look like they're offering some kind of free fruit, maybe. I don't know. I'm not going to find out. But anyway, this is it. This is life. So go ahead and have a ball, right? Anyway, so in your head, well, good, look, I'm showing you pictures of what it looked like so you can see. But there's not much to compare it to. Google Maps still shows the house as it was on One Day at a Time. And if you look at Zillow, you'll find out the house sold on July 6th, 2020 for $845,000. No mention of it being torn down. I mean, the car was parked here. We know that. This is where the car was parked. And we know that that's where they walked. That's the same, I hope, sidewalk. I wonder how much of the home, the original home from One Day at a Time, is in this dumpster. Maybe we could climb in there and own a piece of the One Day at a Time home. I know many of you are thinking, who cares? But all right, well, this is 4954 Willow Crest. Again, One Day at a Time ran on CBS for 9 seasons, December 1975 to May 1984. This was supposed to be Logansport, Indiana. And let's hope we have better luck, because we're going to pack the car up and we're going to head over to the Indianapolis location, which is about 30 minutes from here. You think they would have picked closer locations? I always wonder what these location scouts think. But anyway, if you wanted to see the house from One Day at a Time, I think you best just to look at it online or in these pictures that I'm showing you, because it isn't here anymore. Like I said, you can see the side of that house. Maybe this was anticlimactic. Maybe it's interesting. Imagine my surprise when I was trying to match up the house from One Day at a Time and stumbled onto a construction site. I would have wore a hard hat had I known. All right, let's go. Let's make the trip over to Indianapolis in the hope that that house is still there. All right. Well, we struck out in Logansport, Indiana, but maybe Indianapolis will do us a little better luck. Obviously, we're still in Los Angeles, California, and obviously someone's blowing some leaves around. But we're now walking to the apartment that the family moves to and where the show really takes place. Now, obviously, the show wasn't filmed here. One of the interesting things about the credits to One Day at a Time is that, yes, they show two houses, the house they move out of and the apartment they move into. But what the interesting thing is that the cast is actually in those sequences. When they're leaving, you see Bonnie Franklin, Mackenzie Phillips, and Valerie Bertinelli packing up the car and leaving. When you get here to the apartment, which I believe is up on the left, they run into Richard Mazer, who was Anne Romano's romantic interest for a little while on the show. And he's out here in the car waiting for them to pull up. You see them here getting ready to unpack their things and start a new life. I think this is it. We're looking for 656 South Ridgely. Oh, this is definitely it. Let's see if Schneider can ring us in. Can you imagine Schneider here? Please remember, and don't ever forget, that this is the apartment from One Day at a Time. Now, a lot of you know that One Day at a Time was remade, kind of a Hispanic family on Netflix. That was a different show. We're talking about the original One Day at a Time, which again ran on the CBS television network for 9 seasons, December 1975 to May 1984. This isn't Indianapolis, but for today it is. And I will tell you, one of the things about television that always comes to my mind is this location is so famous if you're a fan of classic TV, yet it's only in the credits for maybe 3 seconds, 3, 4, 5 seconds maybe max, and yet it's in our memories because it's been in reruns and syndication. When you're a kid like me, if you grew up watching reruns, you watched them every day. You came home from school, you put on the TV. For me, it was Channel 5 in New York, or Channel 11. It was Fox, or WPIX, Channel 11 at that point. Fox was 5. And WOR-TV, Channel 9 also. But anyway, you got so used to seeing these locations. And you can just picture them pulling up right here. Maybe this car on the left would be Richard Mazer. The car on the right would be the Romano family. But you got so used to watching these shows that you felt like you knew these locations. How many people remember One Day at a Time? Have a favorite episode? Sometimes they dealt with some pretty heavy subjects. Losing their virginity and drug use, a lot of crazy things. Mackenzie Phillips, who is the daughter of Papa John Phillips, I'm not even going to get into all that. She was fired in the middle of the show for her drug use and other problems, and she did return here and there. Valerie Bertinelli and Bonnie Franklin, the only cast members who stayed. from the beginning of the show to the end. It's funny as the neighborhood looks nothing like what you would think, and it's probably changed a lot, but some buildings here and parking structures and parking lots, and then right there is a FedEx office and looks like a Rite Aid. And it's funny because we only know the tight shot we see of the building. You look around, there's a whole neighborhood here that looks nothing like where you would picture a Valerie Bertinelli bouncing her basketball on the top of a car. Anyway, did you guys enjoy One Day at a Time? Did you enjoy this video? Were you disappointed that the first house was raised? Pretty recently too. That was fresh. But anyway, this is it, the Romano house. This is the more important house. This is the one where they came to get a new start, if you will. Anyway, if you're enjoying this series of videos, visiting classic homes from television shows, wasting some time with me, and reliving my youth and hopefully some of yours, then let me know where you'd like me to go next. What famous television house would you like to see? I'd be happy to do my best and go and visit it. Please like this video and comment. Tell a friend. Let's try to keep this thing going, and I'll see you in the next video. Thank you for watching.